Nigerian government appears to be unbothered when Northerners are killed. Northern groups lament inaction over Kaduna military drone attack. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. Please subscribe to our channel. Sahara reporters reported on Monday that the Nigerian military on Sunday killed scores of Muslims celebrating the birthday of the Prophet Muhammad in the state. Well, permit me to say, not just you Northerners, so they are very nonchalant whenever it comes to anything. So far say it will benefit the people. That is their own. Anything that benefits the people, they will be slow to come out. But see, don't go benefit them. Na that time dem go their vein, you go see all their vein go stand up, then go on work. The news in detail, please. The coalition of northern groups CNG has rejected the explanation put forth by the military that the Kaduna attack where scores of unarmed civilians were killed was accidental. Sahara reporters reported on Monday that Nigerian military on Sunday killed scores of Muslims celebrating the birthday of Prophet Muhammad in the state. It was gathered that the Muslim worshippers were killed by an aerial bombardment. The army has said the airstrikes were targeting terrorists. However, the CNG in a statement signed by its national coordinator, Comrade Ķ1LL1NG, called for a comprehensive, transparent, independent investigation into the Kaduna incident to ensure that all those responsible are identified and brought to justice. The group said the incident of bombing innocent lives in northern Nigeria without a single arrest made by the federal government raises questions about the disparities in response if similar incidents were to occur in southern Nigeria. CNG explained that the incident confirmed the fears that the prevalence of insecurity in Nigeria over the last 16 years can be attributed in part to the lack of coordination and collaboration, which indicates a larger problem within Nigeria's security forces. It added that the lack of coordination is due to the absence of a centralized command structure, noting that without a clear chain of command, each arm of the security forces operates independently, leading to confusion and conflicting strategies. The statement reads in part, and I quote, "The coalition of northern group CNG is saddened by the recent military airstrikes in Tudumbiri village, Igabi local government area of Kaduna State, resulting in the tragic loss of innocent lives during a peaceful religious festivity. The CNG is particularly worried that despite the killing of over 100 unarmed civilians and injuring several others, the Defense Headquarters DHQ on Tuesday, December 5th, attempted to shift blame by saying that the Nigerian army did its best to distinguish between civilians and terrorists in the bombarding of the community in Kaduna State. The CNG finds it disturbing that without remorse, the DHQ tried to justify the heinous act of killing innocent civilians by saying that terrorists often mix with civilians, noting that the Army's unmanned aerial vehicle UAV detachment observed the movement of terrorists at Ligama, an area notorious for being safe haven for insurgents. The DHQ's attempt to shamelessly shift blame and justify the killing of innocent civilians is deeply troubling as it seems to lack remorse and accountability, which raises questions about the ethical conduct of the Nigerian army. The DHQ's argument that terrorists often mix with civilians is not a valid justification for loss of innocent lives. The indiscriminate bombing of a community, regardless of the presence of terrorists, is a clear violation of the international humanitarian law. Furthermore, the DHQ's claim that the Army's unmanned aerial vehicle UAV detachment observed the movement of terrorists in the area is insufficient to justify the loss of civilian lives. The use of UAV should enhance military ability to gather intelligence and accurately identify targets, thereby reducing the risk of civilian casualties. However, it is evident that this was not the case in the Kaduna State incident. The failure to distinguish between civilians and terrorists is shameful and questions the effectiveness and professionalism of the Nigerian army. It said, and I quote, "The disturbing thing here is that all these atrocities, not a single soldier has been arraigned for their commission, and not a mention is made to compensate the victims or reconstructing and resettling the destroyed and displaced communities." The indifference by the federal government when it involves the North has further heightened the concerns that these killings are part of a wider agenda to decimate the Northern numerical superiority. The CNG observed that the disjointed nature of the security forces' operations reflects a deeper issue of interagency rivalry and competition, psychophancy, giving rise to defense corruption, and the commercialization of the security situation. Each arm of the security forces is more concerned with protecting its own interest and reputation rather than working collaboratively towards a common goal. The recurring incidents of civilian casualties resulting from military operations in northern Nigeria have raised serious concern about the effectiveness and ethical implications of a country's counter-terrorism efforts. The lack of responsibility, apology, and urgent genuine step for compensation from the government following the bombing in Kaduna raises serious concerns about government accountability. The current incident of bombing lives out of more than 100 people in northern Nigeria without a single arrest made by the federal government raises questions about the disparities in response of if similar incidents were to occur in southern Nigeria. It is saddening to recall that just a while ago, a lady was shot dead by a policeman and was quickly arrested and put to trial. But more than 75 hours after the bombing of a whole community in the north, no arrests have been made of either the soldier that operated the drone or the commanding officer or any accomplice to the dastardly act. This brings back the sad memory of the assassination of General Maman Shua a few distance from the military formation, and no arrest had been made several years after. We call on President Tinubu to prioritize the establishment of a centralized command structure within the security forces. Now, let me tell the Northerners, this crying at the cry, everybody follow the cry. You people remember that time now where Buhari traveled, that time where Bubu and the president, as at last year, last 2 years, where things will happen and Bubu will not come outside to see anything. In fact, outsiders, if it is something bad, outsiders go don't sympathize with us, send their greetings, send their condolences. If it is the thing pertaining death, before our president go come stroll out, come say, can't give talk on the matter. It was so tiring. Just as Buhari was unbothered when same military was killing and burning of houses in the southeast. Don't start to give herself. Buhari regime was just yesterday. Northerners refused to complain or protest. I beg, make una allow Tinubu to breathe. In as much as I'm not a fan of Tinubu, but sincerely, make them allow the man breathe. What do you think they expect? And yes, you can remember that time where we do NSAS. These Northerners say lie, say them go do their own counter protest. They will do what's it they want say them go do? I just did look them. Now everybody don't they collect woto on top of this matter. Alright, on this note, you've come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.